Hello and welcome to Love Laura Tarot. Today I have a new reading for you. It is a what you need to know right now. So I've picked 3 cards for you already and you can use your piles, pick your piles from this. So we've got pile number 1, which is the yew tree, pile number 2, which is the alder tree, and pile number 3, which is the spindle tree. I'll show you them up close so you can help pick a pile from them. So this is pile number 1's card, the yew tree. This is pile number 2's card, which is the alder tree. And this is pile number 3's card, which is the spindle tree. Okay, so pick a pile, pick a card. We'll take you to a pile and they'll be able to get into exactly what you need to know right now. Okay, take a moment to meditate, think about the cards, and whichever one you're drawn to most is the one that will have the most messages for you. So meditate on this, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, if you picked the U card or pile number 1, this is your reading. Welcome to a reading, and today I've got for you a what you need to know right now. So we'll go through this card first and I'll let you know exactly what it means, and then we'll get into it with some tarot and some advice cards to see what else I can let you know on what you need to know right now. So let's kick off with this card. So these are my Green Man Oracle cards, and you have picked today the U card. So let me pull it up close so you can have a good look at it. It's very detailed. So as you can see, we've got here a yew tree, and it's got a face in the middle hidden in between these sort of like cracks in the wood. And you've got a skull hidden in the roots here. It's got the little brown, like all the little foliage off of it here. So lots of detail in this card. I'll bring it up even closer so you can get a good look. Okay, so that's your card, the U card. Now, I'll explain a bit more on this. So this card in particular talks about perseverance, and that perseverance leads to achievement. And the reason being for that is that the yew tree is a very persevering sort of tree. It manages to survive in all sorts of different situations and continues to persevere and continues to survive. It's a card that talks about facing lots of odds and stacked things against you, and not letting it overwhelm you, and continue to face these obstacles and growing stronger from it. And yeah, it talks about life after death, because with this tree, if I remember correctly, it talks like the tree itself, it's the way it survives is when other things around it die, it's able to grow up, and from that's how this tree not only grows but thrives. So that's what this talks about. So, and it also talks about sort of in terms of like one thing ending and another thing starting. So advice that I think you need to know right now is that if you continue to persevere with whatever it is you're doing, you will succeed. And you need to keep that determination and that perseverance in order to succeed and be successful. Okay, let's look at the tarot now and see what comes up. So let's see what tarot cards come up for you today. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Let's see what pops out. Okay, right, let's see what these 3 say. It's a good amount. Okay, we have got the Knight of Cups, the 2 of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. Okay. So let's start with the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is a card that talks about someone coming towards you with an offer of some sort, or a proposal, or this could be someone coming in with a new relationship offer or friendships. It's something coming in. It's not very fast. It's a slow action that gets taken here. The Knight of Cups isn't a fast card by any sort of thing. It's sort of that dreamy, like sort of slow, how can I describe it? Sort of like up in the clouds sort of energy, sort of like very airy, sort of like, oh, this is going to happen. I'm dreaming of this dream. There's no real plan. There's no real action taken to get to this place. But the Knight of Cups has that he has very strong feelings of whatever it is. It could, like, if it's a new relationship coming in or a new like job offer, it's very slow. And it kind of leaves you at a point where you're like, is this too good to be true? Because it's happening very slowly. Tying back into our first card here of perseverance, I think that is definitely what we're looking at here, especially with the Knight of Cups coming in. It's this sort of perseverance and determination to see that, like, whatever this new thing coming in is, if it's a new relationship or a new job, it's seeing that you're persevering with and like staying on course and determined to follow through on it. Okay, so yeah, it's calling like this here, linking to me is what you need to know right now in terms of this is stay determined, whether this is a new relationship coming in or a new friendship or a new job, whatever this new thing that's being offered towards you, stay determined that this is happening and that it will eventually get there. It's just very slow. Okay, so then we've got the Two of Swords card. Now, the Two of Swords card talks about being stuck in a situation where you've got to make a decision, but it's not an urgent decision. You're just very uncomfortable and almost like trapped in this in between state of needing to make this decision. You are being told to wait, like pause and consider the options you've got. Like, you can't rush because you're holding these two different swords in like the two different directions. I see a lot of frustration in this card and a lot of like not knowing what to do. Could also be procrastination, like you have this decision to make, but you're not making it. And yeah, a lot like I think that's what we're seeing here so far. You are being told to persevere in the sense that now you need to make a decision and choose which way to go, whether it's a job offers come in or a new relationship offers come in. You need to begin making a decision on it because you're waiting on it now. And I think yeah, I think that's what we're seeing here with this Two of Swords card. You're kind of trapped in this frustrating position where you're having to consider your options, but at the same time, you're not being rushed to make a decision. And that's leading to more frustration for you and more uncertainty. And yeah, it's not doing you like mentally well because you're not moving forward and you're not actually making any progress in whatever this is. And then we've got the Queen of Wands. So with the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is sort of a people card in my eyes, so it describes a person. And the Queen of Wands is someone who's like the Wand suit, especially, is a very creative and passionate suit. And as the Queen, she's very nurturing and very sociable. She has a lot of influence in terms of being like someone who's very comforting to be around, but also lifts you up, makes you very positive. You're a very intuitive person in terms of knowing what people need and what they want to talk about. Like, one of those people that that is like the life of the party. They're amazing to have there. They are friends with everyone, can talk to anyone, whether they know them or not. And what she's bringing here, and if this isn't a person, you're having, maybe that's who's coming in, this offer of love is from, you're having to make a decision of whether to accept it or not. If this is not about a female coming into your life, it could be that you're having to make a decision over who you want to be. So if you are a female, this could be who you want to be. The Queen of Wands is who you want to be as a person. And maybe what you're going through here is you're seeing like offers coming towards you, maybe job offers or like stuff like that, and you're having to make a decision over whether you want to take them up or not to become this Queen of Wands person. And it does talk about like inspiration in your life in terms of like situational things and like new ideas coming into being, and a lot of communication in like activities that require communication. So it could be like public speaking, you could be wanting to teach, you could be writing, something like that. And you're having to make a decision now whether to go with this sort of like new idea you've got and you're to become this Queen of Wands, but you're being told here to persevere. And maybe you're not seeing the fruits of whatever like energy you're putting into this situation yet, and it's frustrating you, but you need to persevere to become this Queen of Wands. You need to keep going and stay determined and let all like any of this like setbacks you've had or any sort of failures that have come up, use them as growth to grow through to become this Queen of Wands. And don't let them make you feel inadequate. Okay, let's get some Whispering Woods cards to see if we can get any more information on for this for you. Okay, we've got retreat. Spoil yourself in the morning mist. Breathe in the eucalyptus trees, berries, and wattle. Okay, what else can we have for you? Oh, okay. Okay, we need some cards of advice for you of what you need to know right now. Maybe nothing else wants to come out. Okay, I think we get some more tarot then. If this is nothing else wants to come out apart from retreat, I don't think we want to retreat. Okay, Four of Pentacles has come out. Let's see what else. Ooh, Three of Swords. What else do you need to know right now? Okay. So we have got here the Four of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the King of Cups. Okay. What this is telling me is that in terms of what you need to know right now is that there is something coming into being. A new venture is being proposed to you. It's going to be successful, but you have previously felt very insecure over like financial pressures, and this new offer is almost like you're thinking it's too good to be true. This newfound stability is too good to be true, and you've previously been very worried about your like financial affairs, and yeah, I think that's previously where you've been at, and now this new successful thing's coming in, you're kind of worried about it. I think that's because of a previous issue with like ventures or even affairs of the heart and love. This could be something that's happened previously. You've had some sort of heartbreak, and it was unavoidable, and you can't really blame yourself for it. But yeah, you need to be like focused on this new good thing that's coming in and not on this bad thing that's gone, be it a breakup, which is usually what this card talks about. You need to focus on these new possibilities coming in, and with that I see the King of Cups. I think the King of Cups is this new person coming in, and that's a good thing. The King of Cups to me is like that like perfect emotional sort of like man who is very good at in terms of the arts and very creative and cultured. And yeah, I think that's where you're at with you're becoming this Queen of Wands, so that you can, yeah, he's very intuitive, and I think that's sort of, you want to become the Queen of Wands so you can meet this King of Cups, and you're just being told here to persevere, keep going, whatever actions you're taking. Don't let these previous things that have gone wrong set you back and make you feel like you don't know what choice to make or make you procrastinate, because you are going to be in this good position soon. You just need to look after yourself, and where you can, spoil yourself, because that's what the King of Cups would do if he was here. Okay, pile number one. I hope you like this reading. Let me know in the comments down below what other readings you want to see, and if you made it this far, put a picture of an emoji of a tree in the comments for me, so I know that you've got this far in the reading. Okay, hopefully that covers everything you need to know about what you need to know right now, which is that something good's coming in. Don't focus on the bad things that have happened, and don't let it put you into a state of indecision, because you are becoming this Queen of Wands, and you will find your King of Cups that way. Okay? Thank you everyone who's watching this pile, and I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, hello. If you picked pile number 2 or the older tree, this is your reading. Welcome. It's great to see you. And this is your card. I'm going to show you up close what it is, so you have a good look at it and see exactly what you picked, because these cards are amazing. So these are my Green Man Oracle cards, and they're all various different trees. So in this one, we've got the alder tree, and as you can see, he's sort of looking onto the river below him. I think it's very clear for you. And he's got like a little stream heading out to a lake. The sun's in it. You've got all the like foliage and everything. There's like a raven carved into a rock next to him. Yeah, very good card. Okay, I'm gonna put this down here, and we'll go into a reading on what you need to know right now. So the Alder Tree card talks about defense, a lot about defense. It's all about defending your territory and guarding against people who may be trying to attack, whether that's spiritually, emotionally, or physically. And there are various, like the Alder Tree comes up in various different stories about like defending territories, whether that, I mean, in old stories, old lore. Yeah, so this card itself talks about knowing where your like personal boundaries begin and end, and when someone begins encroaching upon that and like trying to push and creep over your boundaries, knowing that you need to defend yourself in that sense. You need to say no to people and situations and things, because if you don't say that's enough, no, they will keep going and they will keep creeping in, and like, you know, whether it's something like, you know, it could be like physically, but it could be something like work. It could be someone like giving you more like responsibilities at work that aren't actually yours. And the more they add, the extra one here and there, it all adds up until they're permanently your responsibilities, and they shouldn't be. So if you don't defend yourself, you are ultimately, the person you are dishonoring is yourself. You are the person you're letting down, because you're the only person who can defend your own boundaries. So you need to not let other people take your power, and you can't give your power away. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing with this card. Defend your territory. Okay, let's shuffle through some tarot cards and we'll see what comes up. So what do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Okay, we've got the Chariot. Okay, what else do you need to know right now? What else? Sorry, I cut my finger. I've got a plaster on. Okay, and the card just stuck to it. Oh, okay, we've got the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. Ooh. Should we see if any more cards come out? We've got, you got the Hierophant as well. Oh. Okay, I'll pick those up. Wait there. Okay, so we've got the Chariot, the Emperor, Queen of Swords, the Hierophant. And then the cards that fell were the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. Let me make sure they're all still in shot and focused. Okay, so this card we had here was all about defense and saying you need to defend your territory. And then this card here, and although it does talk about like travel and progress, it does talk about being successful in defending your position and using determination to get through any difficult times. So I think you have been determined in a situation. It could be a work situation here, is what I'm thinking, or around someone. Especially to have a lot of these cards here, I'm thinking you have been either previously been successful in defending your sort of like territory, and you've managed to hold on to what you've worked hard for. And it's also a reminder that you're not always going to be in a position where you're defending whatever in your life and defending yourself. There are going to be times when you can just relax. Okay, and then we've got the Emperor card, and this also talks about boundaries, because this card represents someone who is very like rule, like just some like ruler, some sort of man who's like just very domineering and like, yeah, just controlling and very, yeah. And it, like, the actual card itself always advises on protecting your personal boundaries. So it could be that there's a person who is like the Emperor, who is pushing at your boundaries in life and making things a bit difficult. And yeah, this is like an older person, like an older man, and there's someone who's like very like honest to the point where it's just rude, and yeah, very like strong-willed, stubborn. they've got no room really for anyone else's opinion because they're always right. And yeah, not exactly the best person to be around, but it does advise you to have strong personal boundaries. So I think maybe this situation is about a person who's trying to push your boundaries, in whether it's in your relationships, or it could be someone who in your family who's putting their views upon you on your life, or it could be something simply to do with work. Okay, and then we've got the Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords is like the intelligent female queen of the suit. She's very smart, very much in her mental sort of like energy. She knows a lot. She is very independent, very like just strong-willed. Could be a fairly good counterpart to the Emperor here, and like just someone who's like very protective of everyone around her. So this could represent you. This could be who you are. And yeah, you are someone who puts their own interests first, in the sense, not in a selfish way, but it's what's best. You need to be protecting yourself and your boundaries. I know in this suit, this like particular card suit I have, this queen talks about being a single mother. So it could be that you are, and this could be someone who you were previously in a relationship with, who is like now beginning to push boundaries back into this situation. That's just for some people. But yeah, this queen is like the smart, very clever, very intelligent queen. And to have the defense card and all these other ones telling you to protect yourself, I think you're more than capable of doing so, protecting your own boundaries, protecting your like what you've earned so far in life. Okay, and then we move on to the Hierophant. Now, as you can see, we've got here 7, 4, 5. So it's kind of, you've got another 4 here. So maybe something to do important to do with 4s here. But anyway, we've got the Hierophant here. Now, the Hierophant talks about inspiring, sort of like someone who is like a lead authority, someone who's a leader who is now inspiring you. And they're providing you with sort of like words of wisdom. They're like a mentor in your life. This could be spiritual. This could just be just someone at work, someone you look up to. And they talk about like going within to unlock your like truths you need to know. So they could be making you look at a situation differently, whatever the situation is, or whoever this person is, and making you realize something you hadn't previously realized before. They may be pointing out that this person's pushing your boundaries. This person could simply be here to comfort you while you're going through whatever this is. They could be here just to be a like almost like a sounding board, or just a word, like giving you a word of encouragement here and there, and keeping you going. Like, when whatever the situation is, I think you are having to protect your boundaries a lot with this person, and like you're having to like lay down rules and regulations about what this person can do, what this person can't do. And I think that it gets to you sometimes that you feel like you're always doing this with them, and you feel like you're always this cold, like female, like you're this cold queen, and you're having to constantly put down these rules. And I think they're kind of wearing you down a bit with this. They're like sort of being like, oh, you're such a horrible person, you're so like, but this person here is reminding you why you're having to do this. They're reminding you what this person's done and why it's a good idea to be laying down these boundaries and sticking up for yourself. So they're a really good person to have. And they're also like encouraging you to better yourself in terms of relationships and career and everything. They're here. This is like the person in your life, or this could be like, this might not be someone you know. This could be someone you watch like on YouTube, or you watch someone like, whoever it is like someone who's a strong sort of like role model for you, and they're inspiring you just to keep being strong and going, like keeping going. And yeah, but I think this person, or this, like whatever this source of information is here, they're constantly encouraging you to keep going, and that there's going to be better things on the horizon. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles talks about like a successful venture, or sort of like finishing something up so that you feel secure now. So the end of something, like finalizing something. This could be you finalizing a divorce with this person, something being finalized and ended, so you can't now feel secure, and this insecurity or financial insecurity, whatever it is gone, and you're now gaining this new sense of stability, and you're gaining this new sense of being selfish, but in a good way, like putting yourself first once. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing with this. Maybe this person here is like, they've encouraged you so far and you're now like finalizing whatever it is. Maybe it's a new job or getting out of this old job or this relationship, and you're now becoming more relaxed and more secure. And then we finish up with the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is someone who's very emotional, very intuitive, and they have got like a love for life and like is really like happy, youthful energy about them. They don't have to be young. They've got this really nice like young energy about them where they just love life, and yeah, I think this could be like the new attitude you're gaining after all of this new love of life, and this new yeah, this new love of life is coming back to you. Because I mean, it could be a person who comes in, like maybe after this situation, a new guy comes in and he gives you this love of life back. But I think this is more about you. What you need to know right now is that you're going to ultimately be this, and yeah, you are you need to remember that you are supported by this person or just the people around you. You may not know it right now, but they are there for you. They're supporting you, and they're here to give you reassurance whenever you need it to get out of this situation. You need to continue pushing through. And like in terms of the whole general reading we're doing here, which is what you need to know right now, I think what you need to know right now is that you're not always going to be having to be protecting yourself and your boundaries and your life, and like laying down all these rules and keeping these like domineering person at bay. You are going to be in a successful sort of like secure position, and you're going to have this love for life back soon. You will get this back. That's what you need to know right now. So let's get some like final advice cards for you here. What do you need to know right now in terms of advice? What advice for me for what you need to know right now? Okay, we'll take those three. So we have got uncertainty. The shades of grey within the fog will eventually lift. Exactly. This situation and this sort of part of your life, it may feel like it's going on forever, but it's not gonna. It's gonna be over soon. You're gonna get back to being this happy-go-lucky sort of like loving life person. You'll get that back, and let whoever this is encourage you and reassure you. And you are doing the right thing by laying down these boundaries. You can get there. Don't feel like this is what it's going to be like forever. It's not. Keep going. And then you've got resilient. Stay as strong as evergreen trees, and clearing, make room for growth. Now, as these two came up together, I think this is, you need to remain resilient in clearing out this old, like boundary pushing person or job or situation, whatever it is. Keep going with clearing it out of your life. It's not doing any good. It's taking time, but that's because it's going to be such a good change for the better. You're going to get all this back. You're going to have a successful, secure, stable position. You're going to love life again. You have people around you who are encouraging you and helping you. Just keep going, and you're going to get there. And I think that's exactly what you need to know right now. This uncertainty isn't going to last forever. Stay determined at keeping your boundaries protected. Protect yourself, and you're doing the right thing. You are very sensible. You're very intelligent. You know exactly what to do and what the right decisions are. You're not doing anything wrong at all. So keep being resilient in clearing this and making room for growth. You can do this. So I hope this reading was good and provided you with the right things you need to know right now. Let me know down in the comments if you've made it this far, and maybe put a leaf emoji if you have. And hopefully I'll see you again soon in another reading. And yeah, it was great reading for you. So like, comment, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye. And hello, pile number 3s. If you picked the spindle card or the third card in the opening bit, then this is your pile. So this is the spindle card. So this is from my Green Man Oracle cards. They're all various different like trees and everything. So what you've got here is the spindle tree here, and all the branches and the flowers, and this big like rock with a face on it in the background. I hope you guys can see that. It's very cool. I love these cards. They're very detailed, and there's a lot of sort of like things to catch your eye about it. But yeah, this is the tree. These are the little leaves, the like thin branches, lots of leaves and little flowers on it. Okay, I'll put that here, and we can go into what you need to know right now. That is our reading for you today. Okay, So the spindle card. So the spindle card talks a lot about destiny, and that destiny is the reason we are doing what we're doing. It is not saying that our destiny is set in stone, that whatever happens is, that this is exactly what's happening. It's saying destiny is something that is always changing, that can always be altered. You have a line, a path you're meant to go on, but ultimately every decision you make is down to you. You make the decisions that make your life, the tapestry that is your life. Talks a lot about following what you desire most. What are you most passionate about? Because that is what is going to lead you to your destiny, and that is what your destiny is, and that is how you're going to progress your life in this world, by following what means the most to you. That's your destiny. Okay, let's go on to tarot, and we'll see what the tarot cards say. But yeah, so far what you need to know is that in terms of your life, it's destiny to do what you love the most, and that's how you'll work out what you're meant to do. I feel like I've said the word destiny a million times now, but yeah, that's what this reading seems to be about so far, what you need to know right now. So let's go get some tarot. It was a very weird way of doing cards today. Let's get some cards. Get some tarot for you. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Okay, I think we've got a few cards there. We've got these two, which is the Two of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Star card, the Moon card, and the Five of Wands. Okay, right, let's have a look at what they are trying to tell you now. Okay, so we've got our tarot. So the Two of Cups is a card that talks about unions, and whether that's romantic unions, like, marriages, engagements, partnerships, so like boyfriends, girlfriends, and that talks a lot about this. It can talk about friendships, and it can talk about creative partnerships as well. That's what this card is all about. Now, looking at the rest of the cards, especially this card here with the Ace of Wands, which talks about like creative ventures and like massive masculine energy and like new ideas and like success. I think we could link this to a business partnership. If it's a romantic relationship, excellent. I'm seeing more here some sort of like passion project, something you've always wanted to do but you haven't done, especially with destiny here. I think this is what you need to know right now, is some sort of partnership or creative project you're entering into is someone who, like, maybe whoever you're in a romantic relationship with, some masculine energy or man is like your muse, and they're inspiring you at whatever this is you're doing. This is always like, this card also means like any new business you're like beginning, it's going to be like successful. Let's come back to those once we've gone through these cards a bit more, and it might make a bit more sense, especially with our destiny card here. This is a very, like, it can be about business partnerships or it can be about relationships. This card here can be about a strong male energy, or it can be about brand new businesses. So let's see what the other cards are saying. So the next card we have is the Star card. Now the Star card is all about new beginnings and new energy and new opportunities. Yeah, this card actually is perfect for this situation here, because I think this card is always about like dreams coming true. Something you've been wishing about and you've been dreaming would happen is now becoming a reality. So maybe you are starting a business, and this business is something you've been dreaming about and it's now becoming a reality. And you've put in the work, both like on the spiritual and the like internal side, and you're putting in like external work, like you've been attending courses, you've been learning more about it, and now it's beginning to take hold. Then we follow that up with the Moon card. Now the Moon card talks about doubt. You doubt about, like, you're having doubts about the situation yourself, and this is about mysteries and the unknown, and looking at things in a different light, because you're looking at things now in the moonlight rather than the sunlight. And I think this is talking about you going within and using your intuition and going and knowing, again, like this card saying, knowing what you want to do and what makes you happy, and knowing that any decision you make is the right decision if you're following your heart, because if you're following your heart, it means you're following your destiny. And yeah, a lot of like almost like isolating yourself in a good way, not in a bad way, but isolating yourself to get this sort of like clarification on things. Okay, and then the Five of Wands. Okay, so the Five of Wands is a card that is about like you're being tested, you're having conflict, you're like fighting for things, almost like you're being challenged now. And I think this is kind of a reminder that you need to like almost like note to yourself that will pass, and this is almost like testing how much you want this, because I think you have started up some sort of business partnership or maybe a relationship, and it is something you've always wanted, and it's something you've dreamed about, and it's finally coming into reality, but you're doubting it, and this doubt is now causing conflict, and you're thinking this is actually a bit harder than I thought it was going to be, and you know it's a bit more difficult. There's a lot more competition than I thought there would be, and you're now being told and advised to sort of stand strong. Double check everything you sign. If there's a business, check stuff you're signing, making sure all your agreements are checked and all your deadlines are being met and everything. But this seems to be more of like almost like this all internal doubts here. Let me see if I can get any more tarot for you. See if we can get more clarification on what you need to know now about these cards. What is this about? What do you need to know? What do you need to know? Okay. The Chariot. Okay, the Chariot. So the Chariot card talks about like success being on the horizon. Like you're not always going to be battling. This isn't always going to be as hard as it is right now. It talks about being determined and having to sort of like put in the hard work, because the hard work's what's going to pay off. And if you put in that hard work, it will be successful and you will have deserved it. And it will be worth it if you put in the hard work, and defending what position this is kind of like it's defending the position you finally got to and getting through these difficult times so that you can enjoy your rewards, because you're not always going to be battling whatever this is. I think it's a business idea, this new business you've got. It's not always going to be as difficult as it is right now, and all these sort of like inner doubts you're having are just inner doubts. Yes, it's difficult, but you just need to keep going and it will stop being so difficult eventually. But you just got to put in this work, this initial sort of like laying of groundwork. Let's get some advice cards for you as well. What do you need to know now, right now, in terms of advice? Did you see that whole clump almost came out then? There we go. Right. We've got time. Yeah, I think it's not whatever you're working on, what you're dreaming of, and it is your destiny, and it's all about how much hard work you're putting in, but it's going to take time. You can't rush it, and you've got to put in the work to finally get there, and it will take time. So it says time, embrace the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. Then humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. Don't focus so much on the outcome. Try and focus on the right now, putting in the work and holding on to your determination and not letting these doubts take over. Yeah, just don't be so bold and cocky about the whole situation. This is your destiny, and it might come easy to you, but you're going to have to fight some battles to get there to make it worth it. Okay, and then we've got opportunities. Unfurl like a fern even without warm sunlight. So I think opportunities will be coming up that is going to be very successful, and it will only come up after you've beaten this sort of like self-doubt you've got over it. And in terms of the moon card, it could be like there's surprises as well, these opportunities. But it also says unfurl like a fern even without warm sunlight. And I think that kind of separately, I think you need to, we've got a lot of moons here and a lot of like almost like things happening under the shadow of like night. I think you aren't getting a lot of encouragement for whatever this like dream situation is you've got here. That is your destiny. And you need to realize that it's almost like if you were getting encouraged, it would feel less like destiny. And you're doing all this without the encouragement of other people. And it's going to make the end result so much better when you've earned it without encouragement, and put in all this hard work by yourself and done it. Okay. I hope that covers everything you need to know right now. Whatever you're doing, this dream passion project is your destiny. Keep going, keep putting in the hard work, and you're going to get there. It won't always be this hard. You just need to take the time, put in some humility. Don't be so like showy offy about it, and take opportunities as they come, and keep going even without the encouragement from others. And you're going to get there, and it's going to be amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you made it this far, put down in the comments a little flower. If you can find a white flower on your phone, put that in the comments so I know you made it to the end of the reading. And I hope you enjoyed it. All that, like, comment, subscribe, all of that, that'd be great. And I will hopefully see you again in another reading. So thank you. Bye bye.